In September 2020, over 400,000 final year students from across the UK returned to campus for the first time in more than 6 months, keen to resume student life and make the most of their last year at university. But a surge in coronavirus cases on and off campus meant that most teaching and learning was moved back online, and many students faced long periods of isolation during the autumn. It's now December and universities have closed early for Christmas. We're meeting 4 final year students who'll be graduating in the summer of 2021. Producer Jeremy is online to find out how they're coping with the pandemic and its impact on their plans for the future. The first of our graduates of 2021 is Calla Cambrey, a politics student at Cardiff University. She's been finding it tough to adapt to the new way of doing things.
It's been a struggle. It's been difficult to motivate yourself. You know, we came back and we did think, I think, that we would have a fairly normal term. I think back in summer, we really thought it was going to be quite normal for everybody. And then we come back and nothing is in person. You know, everything's online. I think for me as well, my course, I found it hard because a lot of it is recorded, a lot of stuff isn't live. I've had, I think, 1 hour of in-person teaching every 2 weeks. And I would look forward to it so much because you don't realise how much you miss it. You know, all the times in first year where I wouldn't go to my lectures, and now I wish I didn't do that. And then just the lack of structure was really difficult, and getting yourself up to go and sit at your desk in your bedroom and almost spend the whole day in your bedroom. I do everything in my room. I sometimes eat in there, I'll do a workout in there, and then I realise I've been in my room for 24 hours.
And Calla has found the coronavirus restrictions have also made job hunting more difficult.
So since I started back at university in autumn, obviously everything's been different. It's been different for everybody. There's obviously been no on-campus activities at all, which is a real shame because I always went to every single careers fair, even when it was, I think even a science careers fair I went to once, which is obviously nothing I'm going to go into, but you just never know. Those kind of companies, you know, have roles for everybody. So I would always attend those kind of things. I've actually only been to virtual events with a charity that I'm part of called Upreach, who I've found fantastic. And they have put on a lot of virtual events across the term, particularly with their partner employers, which are mostly employers. You know, they've got the civil service, they've got some banking firms, they've got corporate.
Upreach is a social mobility charity that supports students from disadvantaged backgrounds in their search for a graduate job.
I'm the first in my generation to go to university, so I didn't feel like I had a breadth of people that I could send my work to and send my applications to and they could review. So for me, it was having that person that would look over my application and pick out, you know, points I didn't need or just really review it. And it's been really fantastic.
Whilst at university, Calla has had work experience at a law firm and at the Welsh Assembly, and is weighing up whether to pursue a legal career or something in the public sector.
Since I've been studying politics, I've taken an interest more in sort of the political side, government roles. Obviously, through my degree, I've had a lot more insight into that sort of sector. So I've looked a lot more into the public sector recently, particularly this year and last when I've looked at applying to jobs. So I suppose I'm on a sort of middle ground between the two. And I'm unsure which way to take it, which probably isn't ideal in my final year.
Calla was impressed by a placement she did with Cardiff City Council.
That was then the first time I'd looked into the public sector. And that did grab me straight away. It was doing work for the whole of Cardiff. I knew what I was researching was eventually meant to help all these thousands of people. So I think, it's all coming to a head, I think, now over Christmas, where I'm sort of starting to realise I haven't got that many applications rolling, need to get some more in. But I think it's just the process of it is so long. So you do have to dedicate quite a bit of time to sitting and thinking, okay, which are the ones I want to look into. But that's where I'm at the moment.
Our second graduate of 2021 is Karem Jarbouh. He's studying aerospace engineering at the University of Manchester and is doing his best to see the positives in the current situation.
So with all the new restrictions and really uni just completely changing, everything has changed. It was a bit difficult at first, but you learn to adapt. I personally enjoy not having to get up really early and go to 9 a.m. You can just roll out of bed and watch the lecture. So that's something good that's come out of it. I think you get more time because you're at home, you're in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go to shops to get food or anything. You can just make it, sit down, do work. So I think you're a lot more flexible with the work you do. But overall, I mean, I live in a student house, so it hasn't been too bad. I'm not too disconnected from the world.
For his graduate job hunting, Karem has missed seeing employers on campus.
Well, usually we'd have companies come to like our to the buildings and give us presentations and stuff, and that was a really good way to meet them and get to know them. You know, really speak to a real person. So that kind of aspect has been removed. But it hasn't changed much because obviously I've been in university for 2 years now, and I have been thinking about this. But in terms of how competitive it's gonna become, I'm not really sure. You hear a lot about companies, cutting down employees and stuff.
It's a tough job market, but Karem is determined to make the most of his degree.
So I'm studying aerospace engineering. So ideally, I'd want to go out into industry in this field. So I'd be either looking at aeronautical engineering with aircraft design, engine design, or I could be looking at the space sector. There's also opportunities in Formula One because there's a lot of aerodynamics that goes into that. A lot of car manufacturers actually look for aerospace engineers just because of our knowledge in aerodynamics and stuff. So that's where I'll be looking mainly in these sectors.
Karem has a good idea of the types of companies he'd like to work for.
So top of the list at the moment is GE Aviation. So I've looked at a lot of companies like Boeing and Rolls-Royce and GE Aviation. I've also applied to Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. So that's more in the car sector, but I've actually applied to a project management job there, which is interesting. It's a bit different from what I was looking at initially, but it's just the job, the way it was written, everything was very interesting to me.
Karem is now ready to step up his graduate job applications.
So during semester, it was a bit hard to get, as many applications as I would have hoped. But during these next couple of weeks, I'm, going to put my hat down and apply to some more places, especially before, New Year's, because a lot of deadlines are due now.
The third of our graduates of 2021 is Chibudom and Onuorah. She's a final year computer science student at the University of Warwick.
Over this autumn period, I found university to be quite split. I think I've thoroughly enjoyed the online aspect of it. I like the fact that I don't necessarily have to leave my accommodation to be able to attend a seminar, or a seminar or a lecture. So it means that I've been able to manage my time better. But I'd say the flip side of it is just that I'm now in final year. So the workload has been intense, like nothing I've ever experienced before, really. So it's been very challenging, I would say, trying to keep up with all the coursework and all the lectures and everything, really, and dissertation as well.
Alongside her demanding course, Chibudom also works as an online tutor.
One thing I do is I teach. So that's my part-time job alongside university. I'm an online tutor. So I teach computer science and I teach maths. So that's something that I do almost every day, just as just to make money, just so I can pay my rent and that kind of thing. If it wasn't for the lockdown, maybe I might have spent more time with friends. But because of that, it's meant that I've had more time to actually spend teaching my students and actually earning more. So it's been good overall, I would say.
Chibudom was selected for a place on the prestigious JP Morgan Summer Internship Programme, but wasn't sure how it would be affected by the pandemic.
The whole world was in disarray. So I think that their focus was trying to communicate with us as much as possible and just telling us that, you know, we are also not sure what's happening, but we hope to kind of get back to you as soon as we have an understanding of what is happening. And when they did finally tell us that it was going to be virtual, I was just very relieved, because I heard that other people's internships were being scrapped completely. Similar type of firms as well, even larger firms that cancelled their internships. Obviously, virtual internships wasn't really something that has ever really been done before. So I think my major concern was, you know, how are they going to keep us occupied, you know, for 8 hours a day for 5 weeks, you know. And I found that I had more than enough things to do other than the actual intern work. There was, you know, networking events, they put on the virtual concerts, you know. So I really see that they really tried to be innovative and creative in trying to kind of deliver the best possible virtual experience for us. Although it was virtual, it was, you know, really, really good experience, and it was a kind of the same process of conversion to graduate role.
So Chibudom will be starting as a software engineer at JP Morgan after she graduates from university. Our final graduate of 2021 is Abigail Peel, who's in the 4th year of International Business at the University of Liverpool.
So during this 2020 to 21 academic year, I found it quite hard to stay motivated, as you're not going into campus, you're not seeing lecturers or seminars face to face. However, I think it's also really good and really helped my skills, because it's up to you if you want to do well. You have to put that time in yourself. You've not got anyone in the lecturers every week. You've not got them saying, come on, you really need to do this.
Abi's course included a 12-month work placement during the 3rd year of her degree.
So I managed to achieve a year in industry at PwC in Manchester in the audit sector. And that pretty much comprised of working on different companies' sets of financial statements. So like auditing cash or auditing accounts payable, accounts receivable. It was quite good as well, because it wasn't just one company all year long. So every day to day, it was a different thing you were completely doing.
At the end of her placement, PwC offered Abi a graduate job at the firm.
I felt the year was great experience. It really taught me a lot, but one of the main lessons it taught me is that I didn't want to do that. So it gave me great lessons. However, I just didn't want to be in the audit sector. I didn't feel like my skills were necessarily best suited for that. And I don't think in 3 years' time I would still be enjoying it. So that's ultimately why I decided to decline the offer from PwC.
It was a brave decision, but Abi has already made a number of other job applications and is also looking further afield for her first graduate job.
Currently on my grad job search, I'm at a bit, not at a crossroads, but it's a bit stagnant at the moment. So I've passed the video interview for NatWest and BT, which both are really at the top, near the top of my list of ones that I have applied for, and they were in Dublin and Edinburgh. However, I feel like because there's so many people applying, they've said that not everyone gets through to the assessment centre, and I feel like that's been pushed back to January. So currently I've not really received any email correspondence from them too, but I'm hoping going into the new year, that's when things will start to pick up. But I also applied for H&M in Stockholm in Sweden, which was a digital growth trainee, which sounds really, really great, to be honest, really current with, because COVID has just come and pushed digital growth massively. So all the plans of that has just been accelerated. So it'll be great to be a part of something that's really current and right now with the current climate.